Hey guys, it's Blake Cory, and today I'm going to go through with you guys the 7 things that every real estate agent needs to know about a listing presentation. This is the first video, and there's going to be 8 videos that break down the 7 parts of a listing presentation, like everything you guys need to know about going out on a listing presentation, stuff that I never got taught before until I went outside of the real estate industry, learned sales practices, and brought them back in. And this is actually the exact same process that I train every single person that is on my team and that I coach on how to go out and conduct a listing presentation and the 7 things that you got to know. You know, I remember my first real estate transaction, it was the listing. And I remember when I got that listing, you know, I booked the appointment over the phone, didn't even know what I was saying, but somehow booked the appointment. And I went into my office manager at the time, and his name was Brian. I go, Brian, so I just got an uptime call and I booked this listing appointment in Otay Mesa for tomorrow at 4 o'clock. First off, do you know where Otay Mesa is? I mean, obviously right there, that was not life by design or real estate by design or anything by design. That was just by chance. And I can tell you now in my business, nothing is by chance. Everything is by design and strategy, just like it should be in yours. But I ask him first where it is, and he explains it to me. And then I go and I say, hey, Brian, when I walk through the house, what am I supposed to do? And he looked at me and goes, what exactly do you mean? I'm like, well, I have a listing appointment, but what am I supposed to do on the listing appointment? There was nothing in the questions to get my real estate license on what to do at a listing appointment. And nothing that I've learned from you guys here yet has taught me how to do a listing appointment. You know, you guys have directed me to cold call every day, and you worked on some of that scripting with me, and go door knocking. You're holding me accountable for door knocking every afternoon and open houses on the weekends. But I've never actually been taught how to actually go out and conduct a listing appointment. And so he breaks it down pretty simply. He goes, well, you're going to go up, you're going to shake their hand, ask to tour their home. Then you're going to come back and you're going to go over what comps are selling for in the neighborhood. And this brochure right here about why, and I won't name the company, but why we're so great. And then from there, you ask them to sign the RLA, or the residential listing agreement, to do business with you. It's like, that's it? He goes, that's it. Well, that's what I thought was it. And I can tell you, you know, going into this listing appointment, I was a nervous wreck because I had no confidence. And part of the reason I had no confidence was I had no system to follow. Now, I was an athlete in high school. So for me, you know, you take 2 steps this way, take 1 step this direction, and you're at the hoop, put the ball in the hoop. So it was very systematic for me. We ran plays. We had a strategy behind what we were doing. And most sporting teams do, and most big successful businesses do as well. But here I was with no strategy, which made me feel like I was not on firm ground, made me cautious. So I was very cautious and concerned when I'm walking through this house, then realized there has to be a better way. So over my 15-year career in real estate, I actually have gone outside of the real estate industry and understood basic selling practices that from trainers that had nothing to do with real estate, yet it had everything to do with real estate because we're in a sales industry. And so I'm going to do today is go over with you guys the basic framework of the 7 things that you need to do and conduct at a listing presentation. And then what you're going to see is this video series is going to continue. So make sure you go on to the following videos and you watch them and you absorb them, because if you apply what we're going over today into your real estate practice, you're going to see a dramatic change. I'm going to give you a system, a framework, a structure to follow, not only when you go to listing appointments, but if you're looking at building a team, the same thing you're going to train your team members to do so you get predictable results. When you get predictable results, you can scale your business. So the first thing you have to do when you go into a listing appointment is bonding and rapport. You got to build bonding and rapport with the home seller, because if you don't, this is going nowhere. Number 2, you have to be able to go over the agenda with them of the appointment. I mean, have you ever walked into an appointment and you thought, man, this thing is a slam dunk. I am gonna get this listing presentation signed and executed. I'm knocking this thing out of the park. And then you end up 15 minutes later outside already, falling flat on your face. It's happened to me before, but with the agenda process, it'll never happen again. Third, you've got to uncover their why. Some people call it pain, some people call it pleasure. I love how Tony Robbins talks about people do not go actually make a decision, do not change something unless there's pain or there's pleasure. And it's the same thing here, but you've got to understand their why, the motivation behind their move. Because once you uncover that, it's a game changer. The next step is budget. You got to understand their budget. If they're a home seller, what's the size check they're looking to receive at closing? What are they going to do with those funds? Are they buying another house? And if they are buying another house, how much of the funds are they taking from the sale of this home and putting down on their next home? You got to find out things about their budget, the size check they're looking to receive at closing. Those are important factors. The next step is decision-making process, which is probably one of the more important ones, which is how do they make decisions? What's their process for making decisions? Is it just the person you're talking to at the presentation that is making the decisions, or somebody else involved? I mean, I know I've gone out to plenty of listings before that I've gone through my entire system. And before I presented to them why they should do business with me over doing business with anyone else, I asked them about the decision-making process. And then I find out there's an aunt, there's an uncle, there's a cousin who's involved in this process. And it makes me have to stop, because if this is not the only decision maker, I can't go over why they should do business with me over anyone else unless I have all decision makers present so I can ask for a yes or no answer at the end. So you got to better understand their decision-making process. Then finally, once you've done all that, you've built bonding and rapport, you've gone over the structure and agenda for this meeting, you found out their why, you've understood their budget and their decision-making process. Now we go to step number 6, which is the presentation, which you're going to go over. And if you guys would like a free copy, please feel free to reach out to my office. I will definitely send you guys one. It's my listing presentation, and you go through the listing presentation right there in front of them, which describes every reason they should do business with you over doing business with anyone else. This thing is packed full of value, and it breaks down our USP, or our unique selling propositions, our worry-free listing home marketing system in greater detail. And they start to see, man, this agent, this team, this company, they're different. This is not like every other agent I've met with. In 15 years, I know all the objections that sellers have. I know all the questions sellers have. I know the thing that holds sellers back from doing business with you. And that's why I've put it all into this listing presentation to answer all questions, overcome all objections, and ultimately move on to step number 7, which is closing. How to close a seller every single time. The one close that you'll need, that you'll never need any other close other than this one. And what's great about it is when you utilize this closing, we're going to discuss, if they're not ready to make a yes or give you a yes, you're going to know exactly why. So in this video series, we're going to go through all of these, everything that I just broke down for you guys. So the most important thing is, after you watch this video, move on to the next one. We're going to be going through how to build bonding and rapport with a home seller so you start off on solid ground with them. Okay, that's a wrap for this video number 1. Remember, this video series and this entire YouTube channel is designed to help you and real estate agents all across the globe. To do that though, I need your support. We need your support. Hit the subscribe button below, and don't forget to turn on all the notifications for all updates as soon as they post, so you never miss a step in building $1 million real estate business. All right, that's a wrap. I will see you guys in the next video.